Hey my friend, this is Joe Bakhmoutski. I'm the author of Simplify Cancer and the founder of Power to Be Happy. Listen, welcome to day 7. We're halfway through our 14-day lockdown challenge. How to stay sane, steady and strong in the time of pandemic. And today we're talking about the most crucial thing that is important to our lives right now. And I believe that is hope. In this time of uncertainty, when we really don't know what's going on, when we don't know how our things are going to work out, at the time where our governments are just scrambling to figure out ways how to provide basic food and how to deal with the economy and how do we get through it? At a time when our science is doing our best to try to figure out a vaccine in record time, to try to figure out treatments that we can give to people who are going through through COVID-19, at a time when our medical system is just getting hammered with just people who need help, who need help in order to survive, to try and get through it. This is a critical time for all of us right now. And this is where we need hope. And I really see hope as not something that we either have it or you don't. I see hope as a trained ability. It's something that we can generate within ourselves. That's why I always talk about hope as our trained ability to cope with worry, misfortune, and fear in a time of uncertainty. I really do believe that hope is a trained ability to cope with worry, misfortune, and fear in a time of uncertainty, because that's when you really do need it the most. I mean, if things are going great, you don't really need hope all that much. But you really do need it when you're dealing with a challenge or a crisis. And listen, if this is not a crisis, that we're living through right now, then honestly, I don't know what is. I mean, this is as big a crisis as we've seen, in generations, frankly speaking, And I think that's not trying to, scare you or make you feel any worse. This is just the reality of life, isn't it? It is a huge crisis. But how we respond to this crisis, whether we rise up to the challenge and deal with it, I believe strongly is correlated to hope that we can generate within ourselves, or hope that we can give to others in this critical time. Because this is how I really look at this kind of a life cycle of hope. That we have some kind of a crisis or a challenge. And in order to meet this challenge, to respond to it, we can either go towards fear, towards worry, towards helplessness, towards just being scared. That's one way of just backing off. And another way of dealing with a crisis, with a challenge. Another way to respond is to go through it with hope. And hope isn't something, some kind of an optimism or anything like that. Hope is just thinking, well, what if things turn out better? What if things change? What if we get through it one way or another? What if we find a better way to deal with the situation? So it's what if, and it's looking towards the future and hoping that things will turn out better. Hope is a prerequisite really to take any action, right? Because how are you going to, just do something about the situation? How are you going to deal with anything if you don't have the hope? So, first we've got a challenge or a crisis. Then, for our response, if we go, or we can go to a place of fear or of helplessness, but we gotta come back. We gotta put ourselves into hope. Because when you start to have hope, when you start to generate hope, and I'm gonna share with you more ways of building that up in our worksheet, which is, as always, available right below this video as a PDF. But when we work through this hope, when we start to wonder, what if things do work out? What if we start to build a little bit of courage and we build and resilience, right? We build all of that through hope, and that's what gives you the confidence to go on. That's what gives you the confidence to now start to deal with the situation. This is when you can take action. This is when you can do something about it. When you've gone through the shock of dealing with this your critical situation and you now have the hope, this gives you confidence to be able to do something about it, to take action. And when you take action, you hopefully start to see a little bit of results, or it just kind of feels good that you're doing something, and that builds on your resilience, which again builds on your hope, and that in turn allows you to deal with more challenges into the future. That's why I'm talking about it as a trained response, as a trained ability that we generate within ourselves to deal with the crisis. And hope, I strongly believe right now that hope is the only thing, that is stronger than fear. It's something that we generate within ourselves because things can get better. This is inevitable. Things will get better. It's finding that belief within yourselves to go on. When I was going through cancer and I was maybe lying in the hospital going through treatment, and I really had no idea how things would turn out. I've had surgery and now I was going through chemo. I knew that I could die if things don't work out. I didn't know what was going to happen. There was a lot of certainty in a bad way that things could, really not work out for me all that well. But I still hoped, I still found the strength to have a little bit of hope and go, well, what if it does work out? What if this treatment does work? What if I am able to go on with my life? What if I get past it? And that will give me an inspiration to do things differently, to be more connected with people in my life, to make a difference in a way that is meaningful to me. I think all of those things can give us hope. Hope for a better future. Hope that things will change. Hopes that we'll get through it together. Together as a community, as people, united from all over the world, because we're in this together, right? This is bigger than a city. This is bigger than a country. This is bigger than a continent. We're all in this together, and that's why I'm so grateful for you to be here with me, with us, right? Because it's our global community. We're all going through it. We're all in the same boat, right? We're stuck inside our homes, so we're afraid to go out. We're afraid of catching this virus. We don't want to, possibly infect other people. We don't want to create more burden for the medical system or for the economy. We want to just try to get through it together and hope that things will change. That things will change for the better. Because it's alone that we suffer. But together we hope. I hope that we get through this together, my friend, and that life is going to get better on the other side. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's up to us. It's up to us to have that hope. Because we get through it together. Alone, my friend, is when we suffer, but together we hope. Please complete the worksheet. I've put some really interesting ideas about how to generate hope within yourself so that we can train ourselves a little bit, because that's what I've been doing all this time, is trying to build that capability up within myself to have that hope, to swing the pendulum away from worry, away from fear, I went away from helplessness, where you feel like you don't know what you're going to do and nothing depends on you. Yes, but hope is something that we can generate. Hope is something that we can create. And hope is something that we can give. That is a true mark of leadership, of personal leadership. I'm not talking about, standing somewhere on the stage, and being in charge of other people or telling them what to do. The real leadership, true leadership, is a personal leadership, where you inspire people around you. And not only do you generate the hope for yourself, but you also give this hope. You give it to others. Because that is the only way we can get through it together. So let's hope for the best. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'll see you tomorrow in day 8.